Today we're going to be doing my floor ankle weights warm up. If you work out at home and you don't have ankle weights, I highly recommend you get them. They are an amazing piece of equipment that costs like $11 for 1 kilo weights from Kmart. You can also get 2 kilo weights if you want to save yourself some money and like power through some tough warm-ups and workouts for a little while, and then you'll get strong enough to handle them. Definitely go for those heavier ones. Otherwise, the ones are pretty challenging for most of the exercises that you'll use them for, but you can strap them on and then they add extra weight to any workout that you're doing. Yeah, great piece of at-home equipment. So we're gonna start with fire hydrant kicks, 12 on each side. So if you look at me from the side, I'm really trying to get my leg right around out to the side. I'm not kicking backwards like a donkey kick. It's really out to the side. Often you do fire hydrants with a band on with a bent leg. When you've got the ankle weights on, you can make it harder by fully extending that leg out to the side. Change legs, other side. Squeeze your tummy up towards the ceiling while you're doing it, warming up the core as well. Halfway, 6 to go. Try not to bend the back too much, really focusing on the hip and the glutes. 3, 2, 1. From there, I'm going to use a weight, but you don't have to. We're going to do 4 thread the needles on each side. Having the weight in your hand just allows a bit more of a stretch, because as you open your arm up, that weight is going to pull your arm backwards and force you into a little bit more range of motion, which is nice for a warm-up, as long as your weight is nice and light. My one that I've got here is just 2 kilos. Even 1 or that can of beans would be enough. Change sides. Open, big stretch. Thread through as far as you can. And open. Thread. 2 to go. Chest, shoulder, back, core, all warming up nice with this one. Then we're going to go into up and overs. So you're going to start with your leg out to the side. You're going to go up in the middle and then across as far as you can to the other side. Think about a rainbow or a triangle or a pyramid, a Dorito, whatever triangular shape works for your mental imagery. Up and out. Try not to arch your back as you lift your leg up. Try and think about keeping your back nice and flat and the movement just coming from, again, your glute and hip as much as possible. Change legs, other side. So we're doing 12 again. Every time my leg goes up in the middle, I'm counting that as 1. That's 3. That's 4. Again, drawing my belly button up in the core to work. Halfway. Nice stretch in the hip, in the glute, along the side of the body as I take my leg as far from one side to the other as I can. You're really going to feel it more the more you can cross. Don't be afraid to bring it right up. Good. Then we're going to go into our shoulder openers. So I'm using my band here. If you don't have a band, you could do just some arm circles, but I definitely recommend investing in a little TheraBand. It doesn't need to be a loop like mine. It can be any classic band that you can get from Kmart. They usually come in little packs. The closer your hands are together, the better. Good. From here, we're going to go into an inner thigh exercise. So we're lying on our side. My top leg is coming over the top and I want to roll forwards. A lot of time I see people doing this one, their big toes pointing at the roof and they're kind of looking up at the roof. But we actually want to rotate forwards, both hands on the ground, eyes down on the ground. And this bottom leg is staying perpendicular to the floor, parallel to the floor. So as my leg is coming up, my toes aren't pointing up, they're pointing towards the wall in front of me. I should feel the work in my adductor, this muscle on the inside of my thigh. I'm going to do 15 of these because, as you can see, I can't move my leg very far. And then changing sides. Leg over the top, leaning forwards, rolling forwards, feeling it here. If you're not feeling it in your inner thigh, you just need to shift around a little bit, check your leg, make sure your leg's straight as well. A lot of time you think you've got to lift your leg high and then people bend their knee. But if you're bending your leg, you're not going to feel it. So it's better to actually keep it small and keep your legs straight. With this one, it's not really about a big movement. You're going to feel it even if it's small. Good. Then we're going to go into our back warm-up exercise, lifting that band over our feet, rowing. Sonos speaker's just talking to me, even though I wasn't talking to him. Pull, squeeze. Pull, squeeze. Really warming up those back muscles. Like you're trying to get your elbows to touch behind your back, 10 of these. Obviously it's not possible to get them to touch, but that's what we want to aim for. Good. Then hip flexors. Everybody hates this. So leaning forwards, one hand either side of your knees, and you're going to lift your leg up as high as you can without bending the knee. Just 10 on each leg because they're pretty painful. The reason we're leaning forwards is if you lean back, you'll start to use your core. But we want to work our hip flexors that run from our legs into our abs. So we lean forwards to turn our abs off. And then only your hip flexors will be working. It's very painful and your leg might only lift this high off the ground. That's okay. Now I've lost count. 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Take your band behind your back. We're going to warm up our chest muscles now. We're going to cross over. Right hand on top, left hand on top. So we're trying to warm up our pecs. So if you feel like you're not getting enough of a push through there, hold on to a bit more of your band. Just 10 of these as well. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to go into a single-sided dead bug. So I'm going to have my weight in my right hand, and I'm only going to do my left leg. Out and in. Out and in. Squeeze your tummy down nice and tight. Use your core, your pelvic floor muscles, to keep your back nice and flat to the ground. If you feel like your back is lifting, aim your foot higher in the air. It will put less pressure through your core and back. Change sides. Left hand with the weight, right leg stretching out and in. Make sure you don't bring your knees in too close to you. If your knees are over your chest like this, it's going to make the exercise a lot easier, which might sound nice to you, but it kind of defeats the purpose. So this leg should be hip distance away, arm length. Tuck the pelvis under, squeeze the tummy down. One more. Nice. And our last exercise in our ankle weighted warm up is Superman's with a pull. So lying on your tummy, lifting up head and feet, pull the band to the back of your shoulders and then down. Stretch, bend, stretch and lower. It's like you're doing a behind the head shoulder press. So I'm really bending my elbows. I'm not trying to do a pullover with straight arms. I'm bending at the elbows, stretching at the elbows. If you want to make it harder, you can put your hands closer together or even double your band over. Up, bend, stretch, down. Up, bend, stretch, down. Feeling it in the lower back as well as the upper back and a little bit into the glutes as well. 2 to go. Last one. And rest. Woo! Stretch your back out the other way. Stretch back into child's pose.